Alrighty. Another day in PTU. So it did not go to live today. So we are still testing ship builds. I do believe I've learned a bit about SP Viewer and how it works. So for the Gladius, we're going to be looking at a build that is on the nose here, a shredder. I'll update these values. And then 2 Omniskis on the wings. So we tried the inverse. We tried 2 shredders and 1 Omniski. And that was great, but it struggled with getting shields down. So this means we're still under our pip usage. Now we have, this is pretty wasteful for a pip, but hey, there we go. And we are going to have to run the shields and everything, you know, quite poorly, really, because of just how power works. This will let us power everything. We won't have access to better components. Come here, kid. Yeah, so we got builds for the Hornet coming up, and we got builds for the Gladius, and really we're just gonna be testing shit. This is annoying how often PTU does get wiped, because I have to do 6 missions to get to the test I want to do. There you go. There you go. That's your spot, baby. All right. Let me know if the audio is weird, guys. I have messed with my mic to try and get less of my breathing in. All right, back to our usually scheduled flight suit here. Yeah, I wish they didn't do 3D icons. I know it saves them on art assets. That's a weird bug. There we go. That's our flight suit. I really do hope before they push this to live that they do some tweaks. The inventory is not bad as a whole, just it could really use a little bit of refinement in usability. Okay. I do like this gold tractor beam though.
Okay, it was great. Welcome. I hope you have a wonderful day. Vehicle retrieval system.
All right, Gladius. We want. I do want to play around with the Redeemer. I don't really want to crew it, but I've actually picked one up now to compare to the Paladin. We're going to pull out the. Yeah, I'll pull out an arrow. Why not?
How about you? You got?
And yeah, we'll pull out a Super Hornet. We'll pull out the regular Hornet Ghost, which is my baby. You know what? The Hawk could also be interesting to play around with today. And The shiv? I dig it. Dig it. All right. That's a good split of ships. We probably won't get to them all. Yep. MSR. Or it could be a Ares, but I'm almost certain that's the MSR. Coming in closer. Yep, MSR, baby. There we go. I have no idea why I like IDing ships from their silhouette. It's not really going to be a useful skill long term in the game, I don't think, but meh. You can go to North Korea and then death? What? Hey, S1, how's it going, man? Good to see you again, bud. How's your week going? Yeah, we're doing more ship build tests, just trying to figure out what's working and what's not. And we're getting closer to launch. Got to figure out what to do with everything. So yeah, we're basically going to be trying mixed omnis and shredders, I think. Because the mantises just seem bad, and you don't want and you want cannons, but you don't want to overdo your capacitor limit, right? So should also be trying a full cannon loadout, just half ballistic, half laser. And that would let us do broadswords. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to think about. We're just going to be testing ships. Also, I picked up a Redeemer. So I'll be able to compare that to the Paladin. Because I don't think... I know Redeemer gang has been annoyed for a long time about what happened to their ship. And I get it entirely, man. But I think them going down to size 4s is actually a good thing for like anti-fighter gameplay, and the other buffs they've done to the ship actually look pretty good. How work like normal? Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's gonna be a very chill week for me at the office. I'm disappointed to miss my weekly upload, but I didn't have a topic for it, and I didn't want to post my ship review right before everything changes because a lot of stutters right now. I do think the Saber's not in a great place as of right now compared to other ships. And I've also learned that negative reviews, so really anything negative does get spicy in Star Citizen. Eddie, what are you freaking out about? All right, here we go. Let's do omnis. We're going to need the size 3 variants. Let's buy 5 of those. Let's buy some size 2s as well, just because. All right. Size 4s, also just because.
I think you're going to be happy with that.
Okay. Then shredders. And some Starbucks.
Nice.
Do I need any of the size 1s? Eh, screw it. We'll buy them. We're gonna have plenty of money. Let's also buy those broadswords. So here we go.
Smart buy.
Buy some of the size 2s in case we need those. Because these have good velocity and good ammo, if I remember. Size 1s? Okay. I'd rather had size 4s, but that's okay.
Good purchase.
Alright. Now, let's go on over to our Gladdy. Alright. So let's throw on our shredder there. Two omnis on the wings. Wait, I fucked up. I fucked up.
I think you're going to be happy with that.
There we go. There we go. So it's kind of similar to the default loadout where, you know, you have a ballistic nose and then laser wings. The velocities don't quite match, but hey, that's what we do. Okay, so we do have the radar. Oh, that's interesting. All right, cool. And now let's go on to our arrow. And let's see what we want to do with the arrow. Okay, all right. So with the size 2 omnis, or the size 1s, sorry, okay. They will not pen everything. So these shouldn't be my penning guns. And maybe long swords, and then omnis here. Yep, that one, that also puts us under our max capacitor limit. All right, long swords.
I think you're going to be happy with that.
Okay. Definitely going to be an interesting loadout there. Hey Mouse, we are testing more ship builds. We are looking at mixed ballistic and laser cannon builds to try and maximize the capacity that we have for the cannons and the recharge rate, while also still getting effective weapons on each loadout. So we're doing a longsword omni arrow, because that'll give us a little bit more velocity to hit shots and we're a little dodgy. We're doing a shredder omni gladius.
How's it going? Of course.
And now we're looking at the Hornets next. So we need to buy these turrets, actually. That's what we need to do. Yeah, just testing ship builds. If we can get PvP, I mean, I'll do it. I don't think I'm going to, just because it's quicker right now to run missions. And like, I don't think anyone's running Hathor or anything. So don't want to just grief, you know?
Nice choice.
Distortion as well with the armor changes. Yeah. Distortion is something I have not dived into yet. Mainly because, at least as far as I can tell, distortion still does not affect shields, and shields got buffed so much. You like the 84B and attrition combo. Man. A lot of damage there. Just I can't get over the velocities. But with how most people are going to be using ships and the ranges they're going to be engaging now, I mean, it's possible it could still work. Especially because the Mark 1 eyeball is not particularly efficient when you're trying to hit a fighter. It's mostly hitting the big ships, right? That you can skill that gap. All right. There's our mixed loadout Hornet. Really? Okay, so that's your Carrack. Okay. I thought you were talking about on a Hornet. Because here's the thing. Yes, fights are closer, but projectile speed will still directly translate to shots hit, right? Especially against a pilot like, say, Journey John, who's a very, very skilled, very dodgy pilot. Yeah, no, we're playing around. You've definitely like given me a lot to think about, and trust me, I'm more than happy to give you credit, Jared. But I'm actually inverting your loadout, at least try this time, because getting shields down seems important. So like, I want to try double Omni nose shredder now on the Gladius. Now, what limits us is our component selection. They haven't grinded up any high-end components, and so our power is going to be fucky. But for that, we're also trying a longsword and Omni arrow, which I think will be interesting. This guy looks like he wants to sell me his 1984, you know, freaking Honda Civic. The back lot of an Arby's. That's what that guy looks like. How's it going, Jared? Good to see you again, man. We're just getting started, Kuro. So going to be testing a lot of different ship builds. Unfortunately, another progress wipe for our Gillies, which is where we've been testing. If I can get anybody in here who's willing to do fights, I'd happily do it in PvP as well. But last time I checked, the arena commander in PTU was not updated with the current value, so I couldn't do anything testing there. But yeah, should be interesting. I think mixed ballistic and cannon and laser loadouts are the way to go, because you really don't want to fuck over your capacitor with these cannons. You can't run a pure cannon build, right? All right, what should we start with, guys? What ship are we feeling? The Gladius, the Arrow, Hornet.
Okay, got it.
We could, Hawk. I need to test. I haven't tested yet. Is your Ghost setup? Well, the Ghost is a little different story. The Ghost, you really can get the jump on people, and you can really use low velocity stuff. Honestly, with the Pip game how it is, that might work on a Ghost. I'm kind of curious about this Arrow. Hawk seems like a good thing to start. All right, well then let's quickly work on a Hawk build. All right. So even with the default loadout, we're over it. So size 1s, let's go back to. We might want to keep the sucker punches, actually. An Omni on each wing. And what's the damage on that again, actually? 145. I think that's still enough. Let me see. Hold on. No, that's going to frick with our... Hold on. Yeah, okay, that's still enough. That's still enough. Okay, yeah, so size 2 Omnis and pet and everything. And now we're at 5.4. So if we go to Sawbucks... Oh, we're just over. We are just over. Yeah, no, they are definitely going to have a lot of issues doing any combat missions, even the starting Gillies ones like this. Okay. Well, then if we do long swords, we're under dramatically. And we have good velocity and good damage for smaller ships. Dude, there's not really a clean loadout here that I'm seeing, guys. In this case, we should match this, right? The greatsword. It's not great. 2 long swords, a greatsword, and 3 omnis is what I'm seeing for basically maxing out the capacitor. That's not a very elegant build. It's not going to look very good coming off of the ship. But looks don't matter. Performance matters. So let's see how that does. We will run the Hawk.
Been trying to get away from cities lately.
Hello, and welcome to New Babbage, capital city of Microtech.
All right, Sucker Punch is a long sword. And then one of these goes to a great sword, and then the rest go to omnis. Yeah, it's gonna be a funky one, guys. Gonna be a funky build, but we're gonna do it. This will be good. I haven't rocked the Hawk since my review of it. I do like the ship. Oh, it's okay, dude. It's just it's what I had access to, and losing the distortions kind of sucks. Because I wouldn't fitting for a Hawk. You know what? How dare you say something so freaking aggravatingly true? Hey, that's not my hanger.
Okay.
No, I don't really run strifes. Realistically, strikes I feel like are extra dead dispatch. Because you're losing your sort of long range snipe ability on small ships where they're really only good against small ships. And against big ships, you're not even really able to effectively target like a, you know, a turret or a PDC or a component with them right now. So I think the radar changes did really hurt strifes, and even before then, though, they were never quite good. In PvE, yeah, with a stealth ship, they're quite fun. You know, the AI don't turn on; they stand still. You kind of just blast through them. But in PvP, when you know you're gonna be knife fighting with somebody, even weird audio sounds. Even with the even more now with the radar changes. So I'm not big on the strifes. But I could be wrong. Yeah, our power is fucky wucky. because no, that was the right one. Really, it's radar and coolers that are screwing us over here. Yeah, but you're not gonna hit a fighter, Malice. Unless they're sitting coupled, sitting still, you're not gonna hit a fighter at range with them. Also, guys, let me know if there's any weird audio issues with my voice cutting in or out. I've adjusted my noise gate to try and cut out some of my heavy breathing from the audio. Got some complaints about that. See, against larger targets, what are you doing, Malice? Annoying them? Making them think, what the heck's pinging my ship? Right? But are you killing them? Like, and I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just genuinely curious. Like, you know, if you see a hammerhead or a Perseus, Polaris, the actual big threats you're going to see on a battlefield. Maybe not hammerhead, but maybe more this patch. But like, yeah, Perseus, Polaris, Idris. Right? Corsairs are a meme. They can be killed by anything, right? Connie's a little bit more tanky, a little bit more dangerous, but freelancers, okay, freelancers. That's actually something you probably will see. So I'll give it to you there. I'll give it to you there. Let me out.
You should be good to go.
Let me free. I demand freedom. It's gonna be a funky build, guys. So actually, let's go to our weapon loadouts here. Oh, dude, I didn't even power the freaking EMP yet. So hold on, 3.
Thank you for visiting New Babbage, the proud home of Microtech, where creative innovation meets innovative creativity.
Yeah, rafts are super annoying. Yeah, but you don't win in the rafts do you mean the mole? In the missions, you run into the mole, but really, like in a PvP zone, you're not gonna run into a raft. You might run into a raft if you're doing piracy, I guess. But piracy and you shouldn't do piracy in just a single fighter. You should do that with a probably with a Shiv and a Mantis. Is like the it's okay. You see, I've paid Chris Roberts enough money to where I actually do get to like take off without glitching out. That's beyond this, behind the space marshal tiers, the hidden perk, guys. So you know, pay $5 grand and they'll let you take off without bugs. But you want the rest of the game without bugs? That's gonna be 10 grand, guys. Like, remember, like I'm coming at this from the perspective of what do you actually encounter in PvP, right? And these days you encounter wolves, hornets, sabers, corsairs, Perseus, Idris, sometimes Polaris, right? And you'll get a smattering of the other ships, but the vast majority of people will fly medium fighters because they're easy. You know, they're more forgiving for the less skilled pilots than the light fighters because they don't know how to dodge fire, so that those extra shields, extra durability really helps them out. And you know, in mass numbers, they're scary, right? But in Hathor, you really shouldn't be seeing a raft unless someone's just there exploring, right? And in my own rules of engagement, I won't even bother them, right? They're not a threat to me. They aren't doing shit. I do love this particular debris field when we get it here up here. Such a cool fucking scene. It reminds me of something out of like freaking Home Space.
Hostile spotted. Give him what you got.
Long time for our shields to charge with how our power is.
Dash!
Something's a little bit funky here.
Not gonna lie, just that one up.
You have an amazing talent for speaking after you're dead.
Catch your breath. The next one is on its way.
Does the arrow fit in the Carrack now? That's sick. When I had my Carrack, it wouldn't let you do that.
Yash. Congrats on completing another part of your course. You impressed the other pilots out there. I'll see you when you're ready to continue your training.
Okay. Feels usable. Landing gear, I see. I guess as long as it quantums, you're good. They need to just let us independently fold and raise the wings. That's been a talked about feature forever. All right, should we try and make the freaking EMP work?
You ready for your next challenge, rookie? Now that you've proved you can handle going mano a mano, we're going to see how you do going against multiple.
I don't know if we will overheat with that, but hey.
Not only that, this time you're going against ships made for dogfighting. We're talking about a whole other challenge rating on this. I think you can handle it, though. Let's move out, and I'll see you at the training site.
Realistically, if you had stealth coolers, this would not be as big of an issue.
Welcome to the training site. Get settled, and I'll let everyone know to start.
Shields online.
Hostiles inbound. Light them up.
Okay. Shields hit.
Still not charging. Do I have that bind for weapon group 4?
Target destroyed.
There it goes. All right, let's just do just our omnis here.
You gotta help me!
His shield's nice and dead as he lags out. Okay, and now
Target destroyed.
charge another burst. The arrow, once again, we'll just start with omnis. And hit.
Shields hit.
hard to tell if it works against the AI because the AI always fly weird.
Take a deep breath, Rookie. Hold it off. Another lesson learned.
What do you mean fix?
Showers. Celebrate.
It was working in 4.5 and 4.6. It takes some work. You need to use it in a very specific way. If you do your bindings wrong for it, it will break. But it has worked for a while. Oh no, I'm on twin VKB Gladiators. Why you're seeing the VDroid line is I turn that on so when I'm reviewing and recording my fights, I can see my inputs. Yeah, there's mouse, but this is stick. See how instant returns back? Like here? That's a stick. Oh, well, we don't know that. We do not know that. Sky, we are just testing things out right now. This is my first time out in the Hawk. I actually think this build isn't as sketch as I thought it would be, guys. Like it's weird, and not having distortions probably isn't ideal. But for just killing shit. Although now it's you have to worry about your friendly shields again. Yeah, that's generally how the Hawk EMP works, is you need shields fully down. It's really hard to tell against bots, because bots fly like they're EMP'd 90% of the time anyways, right?
I've got a more tactical lesson for you this time. We know you can fight multiple ships at once, but now we're going to dive into the calculations that separate an average combat pilot from a great one. I'm talking about
Drive
the
is now on.
Choose
Quantum drive
which
is
ship to
now
shoot
off.
when. It can make all the difference when you find yourself up against a mixed squad. Head to the training site, and we'll give you some hands-on
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
So yeah, our power is fucked right now for this build, but we just need we would just need to go and get some components. Maybe I am making a mistake focusing so much on like the ship builds and like the damage and weapon changes and radar changes instead of like crafting or rock breaker.
Weapons free.
But like this is the shit that like I actually understand and I think I have some authority on, right? All right. We're not charging. Hold on. Yeah, okay, so when I'm coming out of nav, it's not giving me back my EMP. Okay, charging now. We're going to attempt to this time confirm whether or not it's working by letting him shoot me. It's gonna be alien to me. Alright, just the laser cannons. We're gonna get those shields nice and down. Okay, he's fully down. He's firing at me. I'm hitting this. That looks like it actually worked. He's rolling.
Target destroyed.
So at least against that guy, it worked.
Here comes the next.
Also, like guys, like I'll be real with you. Like, I am very glad crafting is coming to the game. I think it's going to do great things for the game. I also don't care. I am not a miner. I haven't done any mining since my first time trying it out, way back in like 3.6, and I decided it wasn't for me. That was back during the Quantitanium Rush days.
Shields hit. Weapon system destroyed.
I got a little ambitious there.
Destroyed.
You know, this is why I always tell anyone who like flies with me in a turret. It's like, hey, we're not getting shot down, but we very well might crash into something. A stationary object is the most terrifying thing in space.
Target destroyed.
All right, let's go back for repairs.
Shields offline.
That was a real funky build. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get me back to Portress. The flickering on the nav is one of the most annoying bugs I've seen in a while. Well, that didn't work at all. Gotcha.
Quantum drive is now on.
Like, Lockpicker seems fun, and I am glad that they've reduced the amount of the PvP. Am I blind? Or is that no longer an accurate jump marker? That's true. Yeah, that's one that I think, though, like, realistically, I'm not sure I want to do a lot of that testing in PTU. But rather in live when that comes out. But that, no, the radar is going to be huge. I don't think, and I could be wrong on this, guys, so correct me if I am. I don't think radar actually, like, what radar you has affects your detection levels. There's a salvage ship parked there. Isn't it just your... Oh, there's an Idris, man. If we were in the Hornet, I would absolutely go grief that Idris just to see if his PDC shot at me. This is why I want to test so bad. I've been unable to test my entire time in PTU testing. Is a solo Hornet versus a cap ship. Do the PDCs target and fire on you? That's what I want to know. Because if they target and fire on you, okay, they're getting your shields down. Do they hurt your armor? If they don't hurt your armor, then you have your PDC hunter killer. Then clear up the airs to let torps, let light fighters in close.
Docking denied. Landing gear deployed. Landing complete. Weapons online.
Yeah, so yeah, Sky. I saw one like leak. Wow, we got hit. The skeletal hawk right here.
Complete.
I saw one leaked spreadsheet that went through some of those changes, and that was before wave 1, so I don't know what's changed.
Initiated.
It did seem like the best thing to do is actually to run the military radar at its lowest setting, because to compare that to the stealth or to the civilian ones, its 1 pip setting had the most range out of all of them. Part of me really wants to dive down and claim a Hornet, but I doubt it will get here in time. But I'm pretty sure your detection ranges stay exactly the same as they were before. You showing up on radar is determined by this. Them being able to target you and is affected by this. Them having a pip and aim assist on you is affected by the radar. That was my understanding, so I don't think stealth will be... Well, it will be better, actually, because cross-section is taken out of the equation. Cross-section only appears on pips. So that's the change to stealth.
Got your next lesson all ready for you. You fought ships you can see. Now it's time to face the ones you can't. That's right,
Shields
I'm talking
offline.
stealth. Remember that the best pilots don't get comfortable just because their radar is empty. We're gonna teach you how important radar use can be when it comes
Quantum drive is now on.
Yes, but that's not radar dependent. That's like the systems change. So stealth is getting buffed, but I don't think
Quantum drive is now
various radars will give you different detection ranges. It's just going to be different pip ranges. That's what I mean. I could be wrong.
Position.
This stuff is super in flux, and I haven't looked at the radar changes in a little while.
shields online.
Is there lightning in that cloud? Or is that just a weird, like, DLSS effect?
Contact. Ready up.
Bogey. Target destroyed.
That was delayed. My weapon groups got reset on the repair.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
I wish you all those students. Take a well-deserved rest and let me know when you're ready for the next lesson.
No, they didn't. They did. I think they just broke. I think my weapons group just broke. Yes. Yeah, I'm not arguing that the removal of CS isn't a huge buff to them, but what I'm saying is I don't think we need to test them with various different radars, because the only thing the radar of your ship is doing is your well, actually, hold on, wait. No, I mean, okay, so different classes of radar, yes. Different individual radars, no. Because, of course, the Idris has a bigger radar, and that can always see a little bit farther than the standard, the standard, like, Gladius or whatever. But I think just getting one of each ship type, if all you care about is detection, then yeah. Yeah. You right, Sky?
Hope you're ready to take things up a level.
Shields.
'Cause I got all my pilots locked and loaded with some heavy ordnance for today's lesson. That's
In general, I think the Ghost is having a phenomenal time.
firing your countermeasures.
I think the Ghost is a way better ship now.
Ship stocked up and report to the training site. Good. You're here.
I am enjoying these mixed loadouts, though.
And we can begin.
Shields online.
Why is my power getting entirely BF'd?
Got hostiles heading to your position. Prepare to engage.
Bogey.
I was meant to charge you, not fire you. Now, I'd be curious to see how quick we can drop the shields in this guy now that we've got 3 on these. Because, alright, so yeah, right now we're not hurting them at all with the long swords. Which I would normally stop firing them, but my weapon groups got all fucked.
Shields hit.
Almost got the shields down. Yeah, do you think having some sort of double trigger or mixed firing setup? Okay. EMP definitely didn't shut him down. Now, hard to tell because I can't just fire one weapon group, but we are applying damage. I want to say that was faster than the single size 3. As it really should be.
Target destroyed.
Clear up. I got more coming your way.
I want to say really good. The AI make it easy, but no, there are way better knife fighters than me. It's actually a skill I'm trying to train. There's a Firebird. You want the Firebird dead immediately. Catch him.
Target destroyed. Shields hit.
Ow. That freaking turret though.
Ballistics low. Shields hit. Ballistics dry. Target destroyed.
Trying to hide? The first time I've seen the AI try and like snuggle up close to a boulder like that. I was gonna turn on. Remember, he had a job. Well, that's why we fly under him.
Ballistics low.
We're very close to these rocks, so
Shields hit. Ballistics dry. Target destroyed.
there we go.
Another lesson in the books. Hopefully you feel yourself improving, because I'm definitely seeing it on my side. I recommend a bit of downtime, and then we can get back at it. Rest up, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, well, once again, the issue with Longsword Tarantula, right, is I don't think Tarantula gets you to every damage type like the Omni does. And of course, if you run out of ammo, you're fucked there. I was able to complete the mission because I still had half of my, well, actually a little bit over half of my firepower in lasers. And what we're just going to see is we're going to see exactly that. Longer time to kills because your capacitors still kind of suck even when you're just managing your power correctly, right? Yeah, it's not gonna work. But you're gonna see the same ships winning, just that taking way longer to kill because armor, capacitor, shields, everything got messed around with. But yeah, you can't do component damage right now. They removed component damage from the engineering update when it went to 4.5. So what happens is now is you wet a component and then more damage to that component goes to the power plant.
Quantum drive is now off.
So being able to snipe out components was really cool. And then they realized it was really overpowered in favor of fighters and they turned it off. And they turned it back on. Well, unfortunately, what they've done with the armor is now the same builds that can get through armor are also pretty damn good at shooting out components. It's actually wild how much they neutered engineering, if you think about it. Really, all we got was the ability to repair ships. Like, are fires even a thing? I mean, I usually fly single-seat fighters. But, like, I'm pretty sure they removed the fires, right? Am I crazy on that? Am I wrong?
Shields online. Landing gear deployed. Landing complete.
Was that in 4.5 or in 4.6? Malice. Because in 4.6, I hadn't seen a single fire. But then again, like I said, I'm probably very wrong. Because I live in the light fight. I live in the single seaters, no interiors. This is my existence. All right. Last week? Okay. I'll stand corrected. Man, it feels like they aren't super impactful. At least not when you're the guy trying to set them. All right, 6. This is our first Connie fight. This is where we wanted to get to.
Nice to see you again, Rook.
Take off.
Won't be able to call you that for much longer at the rate you're learning. For your next lesson,
Landing
I've
gear
got some
raised.
multi-crew ships ready.
Shields offline.
Not only will you need to avoid turret fire, but these larger ships have multi-faceted.
Yo, Gilly, can you shut up?
That means you'll need to focus your target.
It's just a freelancer. No, sorry.
If you want to
Star Lancer.
real damage. All right.
If I saw a hawk like that flying towards me, I'd be very scared.
Quantum drive is now on.
Salvation blow up in my Carrack hangar when I get hit by a missile and set my hangar on fire. You know what? I'll take it back. I'll take it back. It's just I don't play with it enough.
Okay. You're in the right place. Stand by while I deploy your targets.
Yeah, my weapon groups are still screwed up.
Contact. Ready up.
Oh, hey, there we go. Fixed it.
Bogey.
All right, we're gonna be doing the same test we did
Shields hit.
with the Gladius when we first did this. So we were attempting to disable the turrets
Vamos.
Let's pull some distance here. Yeah. The lagging of his ship is so annoying.
Shields hit.
His ship's like stuttering. Hate how AI fly in this game, man.
Target destroyed.
All right. We pull away again. Get our shields on full recharge. Now, unlike the Gladius build, we aren't able to get full pips in the shield, so this regen phase will take us longer and we'll drop a little bit faster. But we're going to be trying to now use the longsword and greatsword to disable the turrets. I'm gonna dive.
Ah, shit the bed.
All right. Let's not overshoot.
Shields hit.
Shit.
Oh, my cat fucking knocked down my head tracking. You little brat, you little boy, you want attention so bad, huh? You want attention so bad you turn off my game, huh? We're gonna fly away for a bit, because I need to fix that. Come on. Look at your bed. She'll looking that way. Alright, where did it fall to? I need to fell all the way off the freaking desk. Yep. Oh, kitty. Adding cats to balance the life out of meta, right? This is the only high tier, you know, game balancing that you get from a. You can only get this in a $1 billion game. You just can't. CIG couldn't afford him otherwise. Come here, little boy. Come on. Alright. Now that my setup has been thoroughly fucked with. Nice long.
Shields hit.
That one hit. That one hit.
Actually, no, we were going for the other side first. Let's look at the angle I can sit directly above where he can't hit me.
You gotta help me.
God, it can be so hard to tell which one's which I need to turn on my ship's lights, I think, actually. I think the shredders were more efficient at killing the turret, though. Really, at this point, I already had the turret dead. The shredders.
Ah, shit the bed.
Okay, one's down. You still can, though. You absolutely can. Now I could sit here to finish off the ship. But actually, the shields got downed,
Shields.
which didn't happen with the Gladius. So this should be even faster. Yep.
Ballistics. Low.
Yeah, so if I try to target a shield gen here. Actually, no, we should just go for the kill because it's slow.
Ballistics. Low.
Well, so here's the thing. Yes, it took a while, but that's not what we're testing. Because what we didn't do is take damage, right? Now, in reality, a player would have seen that happening and probably ran away. No shame towards the Connie enjoyers, but that's just typically what they've been trained to do with light fighter meta, right? Game. Oh, okay.
Big check mark. Done. You sure?
But if they, let's say they were in the fight for a reason and they wouldn't just leave, right? Trying to hold a hat or something. I was able to deal with him without taking damage. And this is kind of why, like, yeah, but when you're that close, you can still strafe to stay on top, right? The strafe authority of a light fighter is much greater than the roll authority of a Connie. Well, Malice. No, that's not happening, sadly. All right. Once again, absolutely no disrespect, but with how CIG is doing the balancing, by making the repeaters, the CF, suck so hard. The Gray's market one. All right, let's go to it. Carrick. All right. The Carrick has 64 energy and 120 physical. All right. I should have done it on the other one. That's okay. We're going to go back to the Hawk here. Okay. So on our Hawk build, we have 3 Omnis. We're just going to pull out one Omni. The Omni has alpha of 145. And we have a long sword. Again, a great sword and 2 long swords. Those have 73 and less. But what's going to happen now is because they made the weapons that are actually like good and fun to use for fighters bad, they're forcing pilots like me to look for other builds, right? So right now the Omnis will hurt you. So all we need to do is get your shields down, start stripping the armor. Once we strip the armor, we can fire our other weapons. And remember that our ballistics and all our weapons will always hit your turrets as well. So you have more time to run away. They achieved that, but they could always have achieved that through health. Now all they've done is limit the viable weapon categories. Now in wave 1 PTU, okay, here's what they did. CF repeaters could destroy anything up to a constellation, anything smaller than a Drake caterpillar they could destroy, which sounds super strong, especially if you were a Connie owner and you were waiting for armor to come so then your big ship would finally be good. Well, here's the thing. The Connie is no longer a big ship. The Connie's a medium ship now. People solo the Connie as a daily driver. The Connie Taurus is one of the most popular daily drivers in the game. At max, you will see 2 people in the Connie, right? And yeah, there are exceptions, but like I was talking about in general, right? So it's a 2-person ship. Really. It's the same as a Paladin or a Scorpius or a Redeemer, Redeemer actually is probably more likely to have 3 people than a Connie does, right? So it's not a big ship anymore. But what it does have is size 5 guns. Size 5 guns, those are pretty scary to other big ships, or the bigger ships. So it's an attack ship, it's an attack craft. So fighters were good at dealing with any attack craft. Your Paladin, your Constellations, your Redeemers, and below. They could damage that, and they could fill their niche really well with the fun weapons to use, which are the CF repeaters, right? Those are everyone's favorite guns, okay? So now you were strongly encouraged to actually run those guns. And if you ran those guns, well, then you needed somebody else to do the hard, heavy lifting when something like a C2 showed up, or an A2, or, you know, a Polaris, a Hammerhead, a Perseus, an Idris. You could only damage turrets then. That would have done the fighter roles. But now they made it so CF size 3 repeaters only damage light and medium fighters. They can't even damage heavy fighters anymore. If you can't damage heavy fighters, you can't do your job as a light fighter in a fleet, right? A heavy fighter should be something that you are trying to kill in a light fighter, okay? So they have forced you to up-tech. And if you're already going to up-tech, you're going to up-tech a little bit. You're going to say, all right, fuck it. Give me Omnis. You know, 1200 meters a second is still something that I can deal with to hit targets, especially with the closer ranges. And now I can hurt everything in the game. Now I can shoot everything in the game. And we're away from rolls. All we've done is increase the TTK. So that's why they shouldn't have made CFs bad. Because if you make, here's the thing, like, people are still going to fly the ships they're going to want to fly, and with the way that they've done these balancing, they're just going to make it work. I don't even know why I'm setting my stuff. All right, let's grab a different ship now. What do you want to see next, guys? Because we're not going to get through a Hammerhead solo. Oh, dude, Jared. Here's the thing. My opinion is so far off of the majority opinion. People hated, and I mean hated, that CFs were good. Literally, the first day we were doing PTU testing on stream for Wave 1, we live in that without an update, just literally as we were playing, we went from being able to hurt a Hammerhead with the Wolf's main guns to not being able to. They changed the numbers live as we were playing on stream, and people in Spectrum were pissed that the CS were good, because you have a lot of people who, granted, they were told this, right? They were sold this, but like, I really do think as the Connie owners and like the Paladin owners and the Redeemer owners, they're like, why can the CEFs hurt my ship? I'm a big armored ship. Hawk did really well. Hawk did very well. Yeah. Soloed the Connie. I'm not sure if it did it better than the Gladius did, because the longswords probably had less DPS than the double shredders did when we were doing the double shredder Gladi. But I'm curious how it compares to the single shredder Gladi.
Here we go.
But it's like, guys, the Connie is no longer a big ship in Star Citizen. The Connie is ran solo by so many people. So it is absolutely fair to think that Connie should get attacked by light fighters and destroyed, because the Connie should be attacking bigger ships and destroying them. And it's, you know, it's a missile gunship. Dude, I know. So here's the thing. This game has a very strange relationship between PvPers and PvEers. And this is my perspective of it. There's a creator, and it's a creator who I actually deeply respect. And because I respect him so much, I'm not going to name his name. I'm not going to brigade him. I'm not going to tell him to go look it up. But and this creator, he posted a video saying how basically CIG was ruining the game, basically by listening to PvP players and the hardcore players, the people who would play the game anyways, regardless of if it was good or bad, because they're invested in the game. They've spent hundreds of hours in the game, hundreds of dollars in the game, hundreds of dollars on setups, right? And he says basically that they shouldn't listen to their opinions, and that the game's being ruined by that. And that's so interesting to me. And he specifically called out Avenger 1, right? He's like, yeah, Avenger 1's feedback has ruined the game. Actually, okay, he didn't say that exactly, but he mentioned Avenger 1 and saying PvP players feedback has ruined the game. Okay. And why that was so interesting to me, why that was so bizarre to me, is because a month later, Avenger 1 quit Star Citizen because he didn't feel like the game was going in a direction that he could follow. There is other personal reasons too. Dude was struggling with mental health, and God knows I understand that. But like, I don't think anybody feels like they are being listened to in this community. I think the PvEers are like, man, why the fuck is there a PvP version of Rockbreaker, man? And the PvPers are like, yo, why isn't it like Hathor where I can just go there? Why do I need to buy a mission for this, right? So, and like me as a PvP enjoyer for a long time, I was like, man, dude, see, I feel like CIG has lost all like people on their staff who have really like deeply enjoyed flight sims and flight and like big flight nerds, because like the game was gonna kind of be like DCS in space, right? You were gonna have full fidelity cockpits of buttons we could press and settings we could tweak, and the flight models have gotten simplified and simplified. But then in the inside in the Star Citizen Live, Benoit went on and he was talking about how much he was anal about his flight setups on his on the sim rigs that they have in the offices, and how he always goes and tweaks them and the hours flying them. And like, it doesn't sound like a casual to me. It sounds like somebody who really enjoys the flight side of the game. And I don't just mean PvP, I do mean flight, right? And so it's like, man, I had to really challenge a lot of my assumptions. It's like, yo, I think CIG is just kind of doing their own thing. And it's not that our feedback doesn't matter, but I think we have way less say than anyone thinks we do. Not just PvPers, players. I think they're doing their own thing. Where did that buy to? Because nobody's feeling represented. Once again, I'm not gonna name who that creator is. He's somebody I do respect. I do think it was just a weird take, but to me it was just telling that, you know, he didn't feel represented. And thinking that everyone's listening to Avenger 1 when Avenger 1 literally to the greatest degree felt like it wasn't going. Yeah. And so like I said, like I had this huge assumption that like, dude, there's nobody, like CIG has gone through so much employee churn that all of their original team that were big flight nerds like me are gone and have left. But then Benoit went on and talked about that. I'm like, bro, that doesn't sound like a casual. Like, so I think they're doing their own thing. And our feedback is taken probably like 10th in line of order of importance. All right, so I think I saw that somebody wants us to see the double Omni Gladius, which I also want to see. So we're gonna test that next.
Stand by. Your vehicle has been
Absolutely.
the following location. Your vehicle, please visit us again.
And like I will say, like I am in love with these radar changes. I think they are some of the best things that could have happened to the game balance wise. And like, this is gonna sound really mean. I think the radar changes, like, aside from the power, which is a little bit annoying, I think it's a better change than I thought CIG was capable of doing for the PvP balance. The flight model, the armor system, the way weapons work, all of it right now is running weird false framework right now. I see what you're saying, Silhouette. It's not wrong. It's not incorrect in any way, but at the same time, let me ask you this. Doesn't matter. No, genuinely, does it matter? Because the game is being sold right now. People are buying ships right now. People are being ganked right now. People are learning to fly right now. When we're talking about the game, oh yeah, everything's open to change. It's a fucking alpha. But that doesn't mean we aren't allowed to talk about the current game, because the current game is what we have. The current game is what we're playing. And like, so many people, especially in a lot of my more complaining videos or my more concerned videos, are like, bro, dude, that's not how it's gonna work, man. It's not how it's gonna work. Like, cool, but it's how it has worked for the past 10 years of development. It's how it's working right now in the game as we play it. And like, sure, you shouldn't, you know, spend money exclusively on performance right now, but also buying something purely for the future is kind of like buying JPEGs. And how did that work out for us? With this build, I should be... something's wrong. This build isn't being applied correctly. Hold on. We gotta change it. It's like my entire channel Silhouette. And I know you aren't being hateful or complaining, and this is just me making this stated. And I think I should probably have like an introduction video maybe. But my channel will always be focused on the right now. There are more than enough sources and creators that are talking about what the game will be. Space Tomato, great one. Honestly, even Salty Mike still does a lot of speculation, right? I will talk about how the game is because I am focused on PvP, and I'm going to be trying to deliver on how their performance is right now. A lot of times I will probably be re-reviewing ships, or doing like every major patch, like a, hey, here's a quick addendum update video where I go over all the ships I previously covered and talk about how they are, right? Because exactly, like, the game is not immune from criticism, and nor should people ignore issues that are currently in the game or balance that the game exists right now. Like, okay, so many people on my video talking about the nerf to PDCs, which I have not been able to test yet, which is very frustrating. But so many people in my video where I talked about the PDC nerf were like, bro, this won't matter. Fighters won't be able to damage, you know, the Idris. I'm like, the numbers say that they can. The testing proves that they can. So this is a nerf. Right now, in this moment, it's a nerf. Because now, you know, you can go and delete these PDCs off of them safely. And so many people were just like, oh, you're looking at the game as it is, not how we're like, yes, we're playing. Like, okay. The past is gone. The future is unknown. The present is what we have right now. Tomorrow you could get hit by a bus. Tomorrow I could have a heart attack because I'm overweight, right? So I'm going to talk about that right now. There are plenty of people who will talk about the future of this game and where it's going. I have nothing to add to that conversation. Now, if we want to have fun and just like poke fun about, you know, what things are, sure, absolutely. You know, when we're talking about like, oh, if I was in charge, what would I do with the flight model? Yeah, I can talk about that. That's not me seriously thinking that's the direction the game's going, right? I'm not sitting there taking it at face value. Oh, Silhouette, please. I didn't mean to blow up on you, man. This is more so that you brought that up, and it like kind of triggered a frustration that I had from my other comments, and I didn't mean to like bite your head off there, but it's just that's my approach to content creation and what I cover and how I view Star Citizen, right? Like, I'm going to judge the game that I'm playing because I love the game that I'm playing. It's fun to shit on it. It's really fun to complain. Talking about the $1 billion game. But I wouldn't be making a YouTube channel, putting in all these hours of my life and time playing it if I didn't enjoy it. Yeah. But like I said, your point isn't wrong. Let's circle back to that. Your point is not wrong at all. You're right that all these systems are placeholder. There goes my hero. He's ordinary. This bug has annoyed me ever since freaking the start of 4.4, man. I need to get soundboards up. I have a full Steam Deck over there for my racing stuff that nobody watches. I put so much more effort into my racing streams. It's not coming down, is it? Oh, wait. It's very gently going down. At like less than a meter per second. Decoupled and didn't cycle power. Or you right? You right? Actually, that makes sense as decoupled bringing this up. Yeah, because I have all of my stuff in decoupled permanently.
Your insurance claim has been sent. Thank you.
You think if I open the hangar, it will... Gotcha. So, yeah, well, like I said, I did pick up a Redeemer, guys, and I've never owned one before. I've always wanted to, but it was never good. Why do I have a hammerhead? Must be for testing purposes. What else did they give me? Prospector? Okay, that makes sense. Auroras, okay. I'm actually kind of excited for the Aurora Mark II. The Aurora Mark I is one of my least enjoyed ships. I just never liked how it looked or performed. But like, if the Mark II is actually a decent light fighter slash starter, and it looks good, and it has like the Scorpio styling, right? Omni Shredder Saber. So that was going to be my ship review. Aegis. Yeah, here we go. I haven't looked at it since that, but ooh, that's interesting actually. Hold on 1 second. So I think why I was not very hot on the Saber was its performance against the PDCs. At least in the early leaks. But now it's looking like it can hold its own. Let's look at the capacitor on it. Let's see. So if we throw on 2 Omnis, put 1 on each far wingtip, and then we go down to shredders. .2. It's not very clean. Like I'd rather have it be under 3 or at 4, like, or closer to 4, right? 3.2 is kind of a waste of a pip, especially when we're definitely energy starved with default components. Can we afford to drop a cooler? Okay, that saves us 3 right there. We're gonna get 1 out of this, which means we can run that with defaults. That could work. Honestly, that could work.
Welcome to the ASOP.
Here's the problem with focusing on the EMP in the Hawk silhouette is I mean, Sky, would you rather, Sky and Jared, would you rather we see the Gladius, or do we want to see that saber lit up? Because I have a saber locked and ready to go here.
Goodbye.
Let's do the saber. I haven't flown the saber yet. We've flown the Gladius a lot. Yeah, orange. Or windbreak. There we go. We'll call it basic, but it'll fit my suit. Okay. We're gonna drop out one of these bracers. Omni there. Omni there. Shredders in the middle. Yeah, there we go. It's looking pretty pretty.
Welcome to the Ace
But in general, I think a mixed Omni and ballistic loadout of some kind will work. Why I chose the long swords and the great sword silhouette is because of that extra velocity. The Hawk is kind of a spindly ship. It's not really small, but it is spindly. So being able to hit a little bit more consistently might matter more than the raw DPS of the shredders.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
I did something weird there.
Your vehicle has been
There it goes.
following the
Yes, guy. You know, originally I was. Oh, okay. No worries, man. Yeah. So I enjoyed 3 Omnis, a great sword, and 2 long swords. Distortions would have been fun to run it, but we're prioritizing the Omnis for capacitors, right? So just to show you right really quick right here, silhouette. This shows the maximum number of segments you can put power weapons to. So if we went to all Omnis here, if we went to a full Omni loadout, what would happen is we need 6 pips to fully power our guns. So we're only getting 67% charge on our guns. So that would be both the recharge rate and to maximum mag size, right? So we need to prioritize getting as many Omnis on the field because that's the best weapon in the game now. And then ballistics that don't take a lot of capacitor to fill our other weapon slots. And so you choose either shredders if you think you're going to be getting closer and you want more of that standard repeater style gameplay, or if you're okay with being a little bit farther back and having more consistent hits but slower rate of fires, long swords, great swords are a good choice as well. Tarantulas are there as well. Tarantulas are a good choice. I do think tarantulas might be ammo limited though. But that's like the logic behind these mixed builds is we can't mono build laser cannons. We don't have the capacitor in fighters. She's a pretty ship. The saber is so good looking. It's huge. It's absolutely massive for a fighter. But at least it's still got some design cues, right? Like how thin the profile is in the front. Okay, that's our build. Yeah, so here's where I sit on distortions. Distortions do very low damage to shields. Very low, almost no damage to shields. And they take a high amount of that capacitor battery away from where you could have Omnis. So you both need more Omnis to run them to help you get their shields down, right? or you need to run lower power energy weapons to knock shields, like just to get distortions up, right? So I wouldn't give up 2 Omnis or 1 Omni for 1 distortion gun, because you need that to strip armor to make the rest of your weapons viable.
Thanks for visiting. Hope you enjoyed your stay and safe travels.
All right, let's do number 6 again here.
Nice to see you again, Rook. Shields calling after much longer at the rate you're learning. For your next lesson, I've got some multi-cruise ships ready to take you on. Not only will you need to avoid turret fire, but these larger ships have multi-faceted shields. That means you'll need to focus your targeting to completely take out a shield face if you want to start doing some real damage. All right.
Oh, Stock Gladius can't scratch anything though. Stock Gladius can't scratch a freaking Scorpius for Hurricane now. Well, Silhouette, if you ever want training, just let me know, man. I'm more than happy to hop into 1v1s with people. Used to do a weird, yeah, because it's not giving me OMs. Let's just jump to a moon. Having the repeaters right there off the nose is kind of cool. I always love how the ballistic repeaters looked with their double barrels. The trick with the Hawk is get the shields down as quick as possible, EMP them, and then kill them. Yeah, you would think so, TK. You would think so. You would think that a stock cutlass could damage another stock cutlass. You would think that. You'd be wrong.
We'll get started in a moment.
2 cutlasses with their default loadouts shooting at each other would not damage each other. That's fucking wild. But it's okay. This is them saying the guns that come on it are for show and they look pretty.
Hostiles.
And you gotta upgrade your entire loadout before you go fight. I spawned very close to this frickin'.
Could definitely use some support about now.
Let's pull away a bit here. Get away from the big bad boy.
Shit. Oh, shit.
She's gonna stop there. I will gladly kill you with me.
Ah! Oh, oh.
See, this is why I don't like the Saber though. The Saber's so wide that you can't circle strafe her out of fire, even at medium range. If we were in the Hawk or in the Arrow Gladius there, hell, even the Hornet, we wouldn't have been hit by the
You gotta help
big ship at that range. We have to kill these fighters first though. And he's gonna go there. Okay. All right. Yeah, see, you just really can't. You do this though. Now, you can only really effectively do this if you have head tracking though. Or I don't like to teach it in a beginner's class. But I'm basically circle strafing, but with my main thrusters. Okay, we're about to full shield recharge. Let's dive. Focus in. So here's the thing. Even if he was to rotate, right? We would just strafe with him. At this close, we can strafe basically at his roll rate, right? Especially with boost. Okay, and both of his main weapons are down. Now we can sit here indefinitely and kill him. Took no damage. It was quicker than the Hawk, more effective than the Hawk. It should be for a medium fighter. Now that it's immune to PDCs, Saber's eating good.
Hopefully the next lesson will help you grow even more.
Yeah, so dude, do not be afraid. Even if I'm live, man. Like, as long as I'm not like mid doing something important. Yeah, dude, done. Yeah, I think, yeah, if the muzzle flash is bothering you, just change the gun positions. Put them on the wingtips. But Saber performs quite admirably. What I really want to do is go find an Idris somewhere and attack it now. I really want to see if PDCs will fire at this. Why are you green? Yellow, green, why? All right. That's in chat. No, I won't say just Idris. Anyone have a Polaris, Perseus, Idris? You'll let me do that. I want to test PDCs. What's the build? Right now we have double shredders, double amniskis. So the shredders are good for fighters, especially with the slower and quicker. Sorry, the shorter range. What was I saying? Shorter range radar, forcing fighting a bit closer, right? But they also let you shoot through shields to hit turrets before you knock the shields. The omnis let you damage everything, and eventually apply damage to the entire ship as you strip armor off. Also, by running mixed ballistic and mixed laser cannon, you don't run out of capacitor, so you still get to have full recharge rate and mag size in your cannons. You just killed a colony solo with it with very little issues. Just quickly using the shredders to knock off turrets and then deleting everything else. All right, no one's responding. What should we want to do? We want to test next, guys? I think, dude, though, like in general, this concept, half ballistic, half omniskis, is working for me. I would like to get into a real PvP fight against a fighter. Maybe even one that's running the Panthers, even though the Panthers are useless, just to see how it feels. But as far as I know, AC will not work right now. Why am I even trying to use the fucking nav map, guys? It doesn't work. If anyone's running a little piece, we could do that.
Bottom
Gonna be a dirty griefer. But specifically, it has to have someone flying it for the PTUs to fire, right? Got no one in the pilot seat. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna be at the LPs actually. No one's gonna be at Hathor. Why would you, right? I guess the only reason you would go there is if you were testing the missions that sent you there. But then would you go there in a Perseus? Much less a Polaris or something? Yeah, OOPs are usually where I do combat. It's where I test all my builds in live because Arena Commander doesn't do engineering correctly. A bit of a commitment to travel down there for something that might be wrong, but we can do it. We got time. There's no harm in trying, but I think overall, guys, we found a good generalist loadout. I would say longswords if you want more velocity. Tarantulas are up there. We haven't tested them, but I do think they would be good. Just a little bit ammo limited. With Omni cannons as your unlimited ammo option. And yeah. Sadly, I can't recommend, you know, mantises or really doing a ballistic cannon and then a laser repeater just yet, because I think you will need that almost infinite ammo, especially if you do find yourself punching up. Now, no one's here advocating for you to solo an Idris. That's not what we're doing. What we're saying is, you know, equal investment, right? You know, crewed Idris usually will be about 2 to 3 people. Sometimes more, but you know, we're just talking usuals. So you 2 to 3 fighters, right? And even then, in a solo fighter, especially if you're immune to their PDCs, you can absolutely harass a solo Idris. You won't kill it, but you can make him really pissed off. I've done it several times. How you set up an arrow? 2 sides ones really throw it off. Oh yeah, no, we have an arrow build. I actually don't know how good it would be.
Here we are. Thank you for one space dash.
I'm overstimulated. ladies, one at a time, huh? Also known as things I've never said before. That's a paladin. Is there anyone in your turret, Mr. Paladin? No, you do appear to be solo. Are you flying from the bottom seat? Am I crazy? No. Man, you blend in really well. But you are definitely solo, so we will not be attacking you. If he had a gunner, I full on would have attacked him. I would have followed him to Tressler and attacked him. Because that would be a good test. But we aren't here to just gang somebody who can't fight back. Do you think the M50s and Razors will still have a place besides? Yeah, they're gonna have a place. If anything, they're gonna be more annoying now, in my opinion, because especially the
Go ahead and cancel.
bitch. Don't you cancel my hanger? I'm right freaking here.
Landing complete. Systems offline.
But yeah. So especially with the changes to stealth and how much buffed stealth ships are, the Razor stealth is going to be incredible. It's going to be very good. The M50. They hate nerf that ship into the ground hard. So, M50's in the rough place.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility.
So, aero build. Let's talk it. The size ones do mean that you need to run your omnis on your size 3 slots, because you need to use those weapons to make sure you can damage everything. So I was debating whether or not the buzzsaws would be worth it on the turret, and what I have decided, and I might change this back to buzzsaws, but especially with how, you know, good at dodging this ship is, having a bit of extra range might not be bad. So I've actually have 9 series longsword cannons on there, because those have 1600 meters per second velocity. They've got good pen, and so that's what I was willing to try. However, I do think that it is absolutely valid to run buzzsaws. I wouldn't run the yellow jackets because they just don't damage anything at all. So yeah, we go back over here, jump over to the anvil arrow. So if we compare this right here, we're looking at the buzzsaw, have an alpha of 36, so there's a lot that won't touch. And the longswords go up to 48. So your burst is a little bit lower. Well, 100 lower actually. So kind of depends what you're going for. I still think I might change over to but especially because our fire rate will be very similar between these. I think this is what I'm going to be running on my arrow. But the arrow isn't what I want to. Total damage is lower, but you're going to have more time on target. So, you know, it's the same reason why we always said, hey, just run the repeaters in the old metas. Damage doesn't matter. Applied damage was what mattered. So, you know what? Screw it. I know I said I wanted to find a fucking edges to fight, but let's test this.
Your vehicle has been delivered to your vehicle.
just the aesthetic. Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. I think this is going to be a good patch. I think armor in general is good for the game. I think this is going to be a really good patch for the game. Is it probably going to be broken as all hell? I mean, the past history would say yes, but this PTU has actually been pretty good for bugs, in my opinion. I mean, the map nav sucks, but yeah. I do wish they would reconsider their wave 1 PTU balance. They got so many people crying about CFs damaging paladins and damaging redeemers and damaging colonies, but that is good for the game. The light fighters' role is to deal with fighter craft and attack craft and bombers. It needs to be able to damage heavy fighters, and it needs to be able to damage damage ships, you know, that are also meant to hunt their bigger ships defensively.
Takeoff complete. Landing gear raised.
I want to play the PTU. I tried yesterday and got 9 FPS. I was having a lot of issues with the PTU on my Linux computer at work,
The proud home of microtech,
sadly.
where creative innovation.
All right, same test. We're gonna be going up against a colony. So colony is a ship you should be able to solo in a light fighter, right? That is like the top line that you should go after. Number 6 again. Yeah, the radar changes are so freaking good. Absolutely no notes, just top tier changes. Okay, there's actually some notes. Well, buff our power capacity to make up for it. Here's the thing. I agree with Virgil. I really do. But we also need to talk about like soft counters and hard counters, right?
Quantum drive is now on.
Izumi, soft counters are very, very, very difficult to balance correctly. More often than not, you'll find people just will then take the method of least pain and go with it, right? So if the correct answer is still just to spam light fighters because they can't die, we're just going to see the exact same thing we've always seen. I actually do really like having to target turrets and stuff and kind of wait to armor ships to be able to apply damage. But they ruined that balance when they made the CS pointless to take. Like when it was like, hey, you could run one of the builds right now, but then you'll lose to a CF equipped fighter, right?
Stand by.
Because you're trying to bleed to a higher role. But now they've just really made, if you see there's a CF equipped fighter, and he's doing that specifically for you, because you wouldn't take that as a generalist, always equipped loadout, because you can't fight half the ships in the game. No, 80% of the ships in the game, and you're a freaking fighter. What's your job?
Target destroyed. Shields hit.
All right, let's pull away here. I also don't like how much armor they've given the arrow. I'm gonna be real with you. The arrow did not need a survivability buff. I think in general fighters should die a lot quicker than they do. Long TDKs on fighters just isn't particularly fun. Not for turret gunners, not for fighter duelers. But like, I got an entire mag into his back in slot, and I don't get a kill.
Target destroyed.
All right, let's pull away. Wow, you're hitting me at 1.2. Okay, shields, whenever you're ready. Whenever you feel like it, shields. Alright, time to dive.
Shields hit.
I wish I could just target this with my, T key and then have a pip for it. I actually hate precision mode because it takes away all of my info as a pilot. I think there is a way to set that up, but I haven't looked into it yet. I really need to. Okay, he's dead.
Shields hit.
And we swap sides. I'm gonna keep applying damage here, so his shields don't come back while we're swap sides. Now we're safe to regen right here, right? We dive back over. Oh, don't let those main guns come on. And all right, all turrets are dead. And now we finish her off.
Ballistics low.
Hello, desync.
Target destroyed.
That's it. Lesson complete. Good work today.
So what I'm seeing is with the long swords is while you may get some PTU damage, you won't break them before the shields go down. So I think the shredders are probably a bit better. The long swords have a great economy. So Kurosawa, we've the community has for a long time talked about size gating. And the problem with size gating is they broke it once they added size 4 guns on fighters. The largest gun that a fighter could get is size 3. You can size gate. But with size 4, what that means is then 2 hammerheads would be unable to damage each other. They'd be entirely immune to each other, which would be really fucking weird for fleet battles and engagements. So like what they could do is add more sizes and buff all the large ships and what weapons they have, but not change any of the fighters. So, right? Of course, that would require them to make a bunch more weapons and do a lot of other stuff. Not saying that they can't do that relatively quickly if they're just doing the same series and just doing a new name, scale up 10%. There's your size freaking 6. There's your size 7. There's your size 8, right?
Quantum drive is now.
But size gating is incredibly messy, and that's why I thought it wouldn't come, and it didn't come. What we got was alpha damage gating, which is kind of the only way they could do it. but that has its own problems, as you see. So I think after comparing it, I would absolutely run the buzzsaws over the longswords. But the longswords are not bad. It did the job.
Bottom drive is now on.
The damage penalty before alpha when fighting. It's almost like they had that. It's almost like they had that and then they changed it. That's what this originally, this originally applied before alpha. So you would need 20% more physical damage than 12 to hit, and 50% less energy than 6 to hit, right? But then they changed how that got applied, and it's all weird now.
Bottom drive is now off.
Deal is this is not liking these tracks. Alrighty.
Here, deployed. Landing complete. Engines offline.
That one felt good.
All systems offline.
I think most players have gotten really bad info. A lot of people still think that this is meaning that their cap ships are going to be invincible now. People are going to be really unhappy that they finally got armor damage meds. And what people have been saying the entire time, like Avenger 1, like Virgil, like... I hate to put my own name up there, but yeah, let me say, hey guys, armor isn't going to fix this. And it didn't fix it. And guys, it's not me being like, oh, I'm right. It's like, no, I don't like that. I would like fighter meta to end. In my dream like combat scenario, light fighters deal with other fighters in attack craft. Medium fighters can do that while also blending their roles to attacking larger ships. Heavy fighters attack larger ships, right? A heavy fighter's role should be to get close to a cap ship and blow off its defenses so your torps can go and destroy it, right? Like the heavy fighter clears the way for the bombers and the torps and the other ships and the Ares, right? By dealing with this point defense. The light fighters flies escort around the big ship to deal with that, says that was said heavy fighter, or with any other ships of that category, the Paladin or the Connie, right? Above that, I shouldn't be shooting at their cap ship, not until that cap ship is already very low in health. Yes, the F8 is a air superiority platform. We're just sort of talking general, the F8 is the same type of heavy fighter that a Hurricane or a Scorpius is, where it's meant to fight other fighters. Okay, but we have plenty of ships like the Vanguard with its torpedoes, or the Guardian series that are meant to punch up higher. The Scorpius and the Hurricane are in a great place, but because of how they've handled flight, the F8 has been completely shit upon.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
We kitted out the Ghost, I think.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Yeah. It would also be really cool if, for Cap's stuff, Caps had dramatically longer range. Like, imagine if a capital ship battle starts at like 120 kilometers, and that's when you're firing rail guns and you're firing like ramjet torpedoes out of like a Polaris or something, right? And then as it gets closer, more weapon envelopes get deployed until you're in that pitched fight. But like, there'd be reason to actually like form up in your formation as the fight merges and before you get to the furball, right? Because, you know, you want the PDCs of multiple ships to overlap each other and create defensive envelopes. You want your hammerheads to be able to also add to that, right? Yep, we did have our Ghost kitted out. So this is the ship that I think will benefit the most. I think this ship, the Hornet Ghost and the F7A, are going to be incredible in 4.7. I really do. Especially with the sheer amount of people we have flying Idrises, Polarises, Perseuses. This thing should terrify a Perseus. Because if I'm correct, and it doesn't take PTC damage, and all the numbers tell me I am, I just haven't been able to personally test it. You can get up close, delete all the PDCs, delete the turrets, and then they're dead in the water. And that's before we're talking about the Omnis. That is just the default loadouts. Like, I know PDCs were never intended to shoot at ships, but they did. And they were the one thing that genuinely allowed those ships to apply pressure above their class, right? Like, that's the reason the Idris, the Polaris, and the Perseus broke light fighter meta, is because they had really accurate, really high velocity, low damage, actually, like really low damage, but scary damage, PDCs that would apply pressure and keep fighters off of them. Hey.
Shields online.
Yeah, this is a fucking nasty build right here. Yep. How do you feel with the Saber? I've been enjoying the Gladius, but Saber's numbers aren't too far off. That's another hard point, and that was 4%. The Saber, originally I was really not keen on it. In the first leaked Evocadian numbers. With the numbers that are in the game right now, Dreamy, the Saber's doing great. The Saber has the same advantage that the Hornet has, just less DPS. Of it don't give no fucks about your PDCs. The Saber is a cap ship hunter. Now, we've been unable to get anyone in a player-operated active cap ship or Perseus to test PDCs on. So we're gonna do that now. We're gonna go fly and check out the OLPs. I doubt we'll see anyone there because this is PTU and everyone's gonna be doing other stuff. But basically, we're gonna be looking for big ships to grief, or if someone wants to log in to PTU and help me test this, that'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah. still have a really hard time getting behind the Trishans, man.
Quantum drive is now on.
I see that. I see the idea in your build. It's gonna take me a while to warm up on the Trishans. I doubt us getting a bounty will help. We don't have to bug anyone who's not already here. I just thought I'd throw the offer out. God, this sucks. Well, so I can park one. We need to have an active player in it. PDCs don't fire, just parked. I have my own Perseus and Polaris, but I've tested it already. Even leaving weapons powered on and engaging it, it won't PDC at me. I think there needs to be somebody in the pilot seat. Yeah, I could go, I guess, in Journey John's Discord. Really, what I need to do is I need to get a testing account, so I can do stuff like that. Especially when I was doing training, I just need to buy another $40 account. I'll name it Bill Lion for Billion, the $1 billion game. Let me see. Hey. Ooh, my friends are playing Slay the Spire 2. Gentlemen, we're gonna check out the the OOPs. If we don't find someone there, I might cut this stream. We've been going for a couple hours, so we have some good stuff, but don't want to ignore my other friends too. It's all good, Silhouette. I appreciate it. So I don't need someone who owns a cap ship. I need someone who's willing to jump in and run a cap ship. I have the cap ship. Yeah, I have both a Polaris and a Perseus. I just need a living player flying it. If you want to hop on PTU, send me a friend invite. It's Khalid in game, CALIEDE. Then yeah, we can test it really quick. We shouldn't need long. We just need to know, will the PDCs target me? If they do, after they get through my shields, do they apply damage to my hull if I'm at full health? Sick. Then I'll get it ready at Port Tressler. Here we go, guys. Here, I'll put in chat. Collide. That's the way to say it. Why I went with Cal for my YouTube name. Let me see. Yeah. That's what I was about to say.
Quantum drive is now off.
Where is New Babbage? Where are you? There you are. I really like these Coromor paints. Not our first with the F7. Our first with this exact loadout, but we're about to get a test versus a capital, which is what I'm really wanting to do with it, because I believe this ship is an incredible capital ship hunter now. Hello, lighting bug. That is not yet fixed. Yeah, we've tested the Hawk, the Arrow, the Saber today. And the general consensus is a half Omniski and half ballistic repeater or ballistic cannon build seems very strong for fighters. You need to do half ballistic, half laser or something. You don't have enough capacitors to run pure laser, and you won't have enough ammo to run pure ballistic.
Shields online. Docking initiated. Docking denied. Landing gear deployed. Landing complete. Engines offline.
Alrighty.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
But yeah, start in New Babbage, but come to Port Tressler. Yeah, just get straight in your ship and fly up here. thanks, Tiberius. Very kind of you, man. I hope it helps. I mean, a lot of the meta is changing this patch, but the core fundamentals aren't changing at all. Really, the only thing that's invalidated is the rule of halves, because now the radar does that for you, which is a good thing. It's an objectively good thing. The radar changes are great. But yeah, no, dude, I'm really glad I helped. If you ever have any questions, or if you ever want to do any one-on-ones, I'm all cool for that, all down. But right now, we're testing the assertion I made in my most recent video that a Hornet will slaughter a cap ship now, especially a solo man cap ship. So that's what we're gonna test. I finally found somebody willing to pilot my Polaris. So much thanks to Silhouette. Yeah, just come straight up here, bud. Oh, you know what? He's gonna need to get my server, probably. Yeah, make sure you add me a friend request unless I missed it, which is very possible. I'm glad, man. It's not gonna let me off this, is it? Because my small hangar still exists, doesn't it? Damn it! Why are docking ports so freaking buggy? It's literally because we have this small hangar, right? Like that's the reason.
Hey, what's up? That's really great.
There we go.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility.
Let's try with the Perseus. And no, I want the Polaris.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the plane.
Alrighty. So I'm glad that video has helped you guys. I'll probably be doing more educational content on more in-depth topics. You know, flight techniques that might require head tracking or VR, things like that, or just more in-depth coverage than like the 5 to 10 minutes I gave each topic in my original video. But I'm glad that this helped you guys. I really need it to disengage from the station though, just so we're sure that the PTUs will actually fire. And also we can go to a place where the station won't shoot at me. Is be my tracker? Yeah. Any sort of head tracking is fine.
Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check. Takeoff initiated.
Here we go. I think it worked this time.
Engines are on.
Yep. Come on, baby.
Docking. Takeoff complete.
There we go. All right. All right, Silhouette, just go ahead and fly on up here. I see you're on your way. Very good. All right, just come over to this pad where I am. I'm glad, man. And if anyone in your org wants training too, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of free time, but I happily do that for people. I have no issue getting somebody in on a 1v1. I don't mean to do, I do mean a 1v1 training session where we talk about stuff and work on things. Let's see, what ship is he flying? Interesting that the markers are separate. Oh, it's my marker, that's why. We're right on these other pads here, Silhouette. Hey, nice. Yeah, go ahead and land here, and then just head into that open docking port, and then fly it away from the station. I'll catch up in my ghost. Really appreciate you doing this, man. I wish I had something to give you. Absolutely, man. Do you need my in-game name? It's right there at the top. C-A-L-I-E-D-E. C-A-L-I-E-D-E. There he goes. There goes my hero. By the way, guys, that offer goes for anyone in the chat. Like, I do free training. It's fine. No one needs to offer me anything. I'm not the best pilot in the world. I'm not Avenger 1 level. I'm not Virgil level. I'm not Journey John level. But I can definitely get you guys to a better place, especially if you're new. I can teach the fundamentals. I can teach you sort of the thought processes that you'll need. And once you learn a few core skills, you're gonna really kick ass in the PU. I'm excited. This is where we get to see if the assertion that I made last Monday is true or if I was alarmist. So a lot of people were very angry at me for that video, saying I didn't know what was going on, what I was talking about, that fighters wouldn't be able to damage cav ships. Well, that's not true. But if the Hornet can just sit in PDC fire or not even be shot at by PDCs, then this is a huge nerf to how cav ships work in the game.
Thank you. And please visit again.
Takeoff complete.
Nah, Sil, you're awesome, man. I greatly appreciate this. Alright, let's go figure out where you're at.
Landing gear raised.
Alright, you're still there?
You are clear to launch. And please visit again.
No, that's not where you are. Hold on. You did fly away from the station. That way. Perfect. Alright. So I'm actually going to turn off my shields.
Shields offline.
Because we know that they will damage shields. The question is, will they damage my hull? Alright, so Silhouette, make sure you are in SCM guns mode. Yep, we're definitely far enough out. Make sure you're in SCM guns mode. Make sure you have power in your weaponry. And when you're ready, just give me the green light. We are definitely far enough out for those turrets to not affect us. Alright, all good.
Check fire.
Well, we've already killed one PDC. Let's not kill it.
Check fire.
Am I red to you, Silhouette?
Check fire.
So, things are flashing red. The Omnis are damaging. See that down there in the bottom right, guys? So Omnis are applying damage.
Check fire.
Okay. Let's try a missile. A missile might turn me red to you. Yeah, okay. Leave the party. Or I can do it here too. Missile, PDCs are firing. Vindication! Vindication! Look, we're not flashing red. We have our shields turned off. We're not taking any damage. My video last Monday was correct. So now what we can do is not care about your little PDCs. Oh, they're so cute. And delete. And delete. And delete. Now obviously he'll be flying. He'll be trying to avoid, right? But, you know, we have so much flight authority. Delete. Delete. Everyone said I was so wrong. Everyone was so mad. I got death threats in my comments. I think that's all the PDCs. I think we just stripped all PDCs off this thing. So now... As a test. Missiles and torps can hit. Or fighters can move in now. Gentlemen, I don't like this change. I think this is bad for the game overall. But I was right. Destroy that turret. Destroyed that one. Destroyed that one. Destroyed that one. Destroyed that one. Thank you so much for your help. So Silhouette, that's all I needed from you, man. Yeah, guys, the Hornet and the Saber are now cap ship murderers. Don't solo your Idris. Don't bring your solo Idris to Hathor. Holy shit. Thank you so much for testing, dude. I actually think that's a great place to end the video there. Especially because I wanted to get with some of my friends and play a little bit of Slay the Spire for the night's end. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate everything. I mean, I am curious how much that repair bill will cost. But yeah, this is the issue with giving small ships like fighters armor. So yeah, they will strip my shields, and if their turret gunners hit me, that could damage armor enough to where I would be able to take damage from PDCs. But in that meantime, I can sit there and work at deleting all of his defenses. Yeah, no, it's nasty. It's very nasty. Do ballistics if you want to do this. So at least have the half build like we have, or do a full deadbolt as well, and just get close. Because hey, getting close doesn't hurt you anymore. Now, the closer you are to the cap ship, the safer you are. Isn't that wild? No more pressure. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Silhouette, once again, everyone give Silhouette a huge round of applause. He was awesome coming in the host for me. The game is crashing, but that's okay, because we're also gonna call it. Thank you for watching, guys. Really appreciate you all. If you haven't yet and you like this content, subscribe. This is what we do here. We do PvP focused ship reviews, testing, and content. And catch you guys later. Peace.